Thank you.
Always a good turn to try it. Everybody invite me down here. Kind of stumbled across the poetry thing. I didn't start writing till like probably in the fall of 2006, and the closest thing I could really relate it to was like, I grew up in, inner city and, very heavy in the hip hop culture, and one of the primary elements, or I should say one of the most influential elements of hip hop is rap music. And one thing I really didn't care for, like rap music, it wasn't cool to talk about like whatever, the negative stuff that wasn't, good and everything like that. But I found it was, I could really put my soul on my sleeve and be transparent, like with poetry, and talk about what was wrong, and it was cool. So like my friends that didn't know I started doing this, they gave me a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Man, get out of here. You can't talk about that, and everything. But also what I drew out of like the hip hop culture, like especially like with like the DJing and the dancing and the rap, it was like the whole competitive aspect. So this and a lot of my stuff is untitled, but like I said, I believe like the title of the poem should just be a stand out as a piece of self. So until I find a proper title for some of my pieces, they go untitled. But anyway, this is a little something. I must stay alert to the symbols and signs, because even a broken watch twice a day displays the correct time. Sometimes I try to figure out in my mind life, such a mysterious word that I'm sure one day I'll soon define, especially if I continue to take these words and marinate them with rhyme, season them with reason and marinate them with rhyme, and lay it out in between these same old lines. You see, I got composition books that blanket my floor, and along the walls they stack up towards the ceiling. If I were to translate all those thoughts into Braille, many probably still wouldn't be able to feel me. I mix these words like chemistry. Talk is cheap, so I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and then cash out and go on a spending spree. When it's time to slam on the stage, that's where you'll find casualties. Actually, it's kind of sad to see that after an open mic night, how many people really don't want to come up after me. And there's a good reason for my apathy. Would you believe that at one time some people actually had the audacity to laugh at me? Now they tell me, man, you should put that on CD because I spit heat hot enough to cook beef. So you could say my speech is a cash cow, a page poet turned stage poet. I guess it's my turn to laugh now. I got some friends, they told me, that some of us were fortunate to live 2 lives. And, I made some probably bad decisions in my life. But in the transition to this new way of life, I still had to pay a price for my old way of life. You know what I'm saying? And it was really hard. It was like, man, if I wanted this, I would have stayed doing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all part of the process. So, I kept on keeping on, and man, I went to prison, and the place that they sent me, it was like Westville. It was called Westville, and used to be the Norman Beatty Psychiatric Hospital. And I guess it was back in the 50s, and this is also where they kept the criminally insane, and now it's just some dilapidated piece of crap, you know, and windows busted out, and black mold everywhere, and I'm just looking around, I'm like, oh my God. And, you know, it was almost that I could feel the weight of the misery of the people that resided there before me, you know what I'm saying? Like the patients and stuff. Some of that stuff still remained, you know. But anyway, man, I wrote this. Never again will I live in fear of financial insecurity, because currently these words backed with action is my new currency. The sweetest of all nectar has nourished me, divined and refurbished me, replenished with the image that he created that I diminished by living life off its hinges. You see, I paid my cost to society by living in misery's loft off limits, stuck somewhere in between the ear hustlers always dipping in the CO's ego tripping, stuck somewhere in between the Aryan brothers and men wishing that they were women, butter on their lips glistening, running around switching. Stuck somewhere between the savage beast and the timid, somewhere where the victuals are far from exquisite. These are the visions that will forever remain vivid. Then time continues to pass like a high school fad, and once again my pops was a classic no-show dad after he promised me he would visit. But I got mad love for all my people, putting money on my books and sealing envelopes with kisses. God as my witness. This year I don't know for Christmas. Amen. Another untitled piece, but it's just about being infatuated with somebody. They don't know, you know, you got to crack on or whatever. For my taste, she has perfect meat to bone ratio. And when she smiles, her face radiates such a glow, it reminds me of the noonday sun. With her wavy baby hair pulled back, tightly coiled in an immaculate bun. For her, I have built and dedicated a shrine that resides in the middle of my mind, and daily I set aside time for devotion. Often, this requires an offering involving lotion. Never been a fan of that word stalking, but from time to time, I've been known to do a little scoping. And I couldn't help but to notice that on Facebook she posted her pops was Nigerian and her mom is Laotian. About her beauty, I'm as outspoken as outsharpened. She has a face that I send off a league of Spartans. You see, baby girl is as fine as Rachel Martin. She makes my heart hum hymns, my spirit sing songs, and my soul compose odes dedicated to her existence. I have so many I can't give you a for instance. I tell you one thing, adjectives are endless. Her physique surpasses my understanding in those jeans, and I can tell that she stays up on her fitness. Whenever in her presence, I feel like a 9-year-old kid, and every day is Christmas. There's probably no need for me to mention that a nice time with this honey dip is #1 on my wish list. Man, another title. Here we go. I dreamt of love in a dream, but never was it so perfectly imperfect. You tiptoed into my soul, all flawed, a mess. My dreams never ever grasp the patience it takes to make love last until I collided worlds with you. and now I'm so confused. My dreams of love once embraced the thought that lovers would engage in a long mesmerizing gaze, all seductive, raw. I'll get the keys while I'm on the first date. But had my dreams ever come true, I couldn't crave sweet love from you, or have a desire that steadily grows each time we enter and exit the rooms together. See, I might have dreamt of love at first sight, but we would have missed all those perfectly imperfect, awkward nights. Because I dreamt love in my dreams, but never so perfectly imperfect. So you crawled into my heart, all new, childlike, innocent. My dreams never touched that love could bend so much until I combined worlds with you. But damn, I'm so confused because my dreams of love once held dear. I thought that lovers would adhere to a television American dream, a life portrayed on the big screen. And we have some cute suburban home with a couple of our clones and jobs we didn't hate that filled our dinner plates. Big fat money in the bank, but have my dreams ever come true? We never struggle and gain strength each time we conquer a mess we create. See, I might have dreamt about a picket fence, but we would have missed the perfectly imperfect golden gate. This next piece, man, I would love to lead people to believe that I got it together. But man, I lost a lot of poetry, man. And this is one that I just recently came across. Like, I started, wasn't doing nothing else, so I started typing my poetry out. So I'm going through my stuff. I find the front page and the last page, but I'm like, where's all the middle at? And I'm like, hey, I'm all over the place. But all right. Man, I found this one, and I got a lot of good responses and feedback from this one. And it's called Powerless Over Pain. And like I told you, a big influence on me is the hip-hop culture, and one of the elements of the hip-hop culture, some people call it graffiti, I like to call it aerosol art. And I'm fascinated by it. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind getting stopped at a train because I see man, these cats are bad, with aerosol. So, and another thing, we were on the way over here, we were talking about a song, and my aunt was like, well, yeah, I don't understand what she's talking about, that Lord song, Royals and stuff, there's some stuff in there that and I thought about, what is she talking about? So I hate, writing obscure poetry and using words that people don't, know what I'm talking about. But anyway, if I'm, caps are the interchangeable aerosol caps that they'll put on the aerosol can to get the wider lines, the thinner lines, and this sort of change caps out. I think that's about the only thing that you might not know. Oh, free wall, that's just a wall in the city that the city designates for these people to go use, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if there's a free, there used to be one here on Wallace, but now they got a sign, no graffiti, you know what I'm saying? And so anyway, but I've never written anything in graffiti, never. But I had to put myself in their shoes to, try to, and you ever see when they hang them, you're like, man, how did he get his butt up there? Well, they wear these jeans that have extra stitching in the belt loop, you know what I'm saying? And they create harnesses out of nylon rope, and they hang themselves down, you know what I'm saying, either tie off or have somebody, and they'll get busy, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, just powerless over pain. I started off scribbling dirty words on bathroom stalls, and as I grew tall, my style evolved. Now I master pieces on inner city walls. I'm all city, baby. Give you a tour if you don't believe me. Show you how I feed the needy. Suburban boys to the ghetto girls with my graffiti. I'm your friendly neighborhood urban artist who knows no boundaries. Cause I've been known to get down in the surrounding counties. I had to chill for a minute because they damn near found me. They claim they got my prints off some cans due to the fact that I refuse to put my hands in latex proudly. I'm on a mission shaking cans like campaign politicians who be shaking hands along the way making fans just to bring it many nights risking my safety, man. As I twist my hat back, I let my ghetto blaster blast out the sounds of boom, 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 boom. Without delay, I dig into my backpack and snatch out a plastic sandwich sack stuffed with fat caps. I get busy. I get dizzy. Off the fumes alone, I stay high till dawn. It's so late, I can no longer hold back the yawns. Been out here for hours, where has the time gone? I guess the only thing my mind has been on is gripping this can of Krylon, and I can't wait till day break, because I know what everyone's eyes will be on. As I begin to clean up, I realize I could use a new backpack, because in this one I can only get 10 cans to fit. Me and my team are such fiends that at times I can't stand it. As I leave my residence thinking, how can everything in the world be my canvas? Many mornings are spent in the position praying mantis, but I'll be the first to admit, I ain't no saint. I'll also be the first to tell you that I'm powerless over paint. The first step of Graffiti Anonymous says that we were powerless over paint and our lives we can no longer manage. I begin to think about how much money I've spent and all the people's property I've damaged. But in my mind, I quickly justified by stating that I am creating beauty. Hip-hop is my way of life, my culture, and this is my duty. But the other night, my homeboy's belt broke and 20 feet to the hard concrete he fell. And because my dumb ass refuses to wear a gas mask, I've almost lost my sense of smell. Lost some brain cells as well, can't you tell? And to make matters worse, I got the anti-graffiti network on my trail. The last thing I need is those suckers on my tail. I don't care about passing or collecting $200. I just don't want to go back to jail. Man, ever since I watched the movie Wild Style as a preteen, this scene has been my dream. Don't go chasing rainbows, just come look at my fingertips, they never come clean. Perpetually stained with sensational yellows, brilliant blues, and glorious greens. Although I know I'm a fiend, I just don't understand how a simple substance in a can can have so much power over a man. But I can't stop now. What about my fans? They need to see me write this graffiti. Just the other day, I heard a shorty say he wishes he could be me. You see, he's been coming around the way since he was knee tall. Now he thinks he's too cool for schoolwork to even use the free walls. He said he's so fond of my acts, so how do I respond to that? Should I lie, or should I take him on a ride and show him where my homeboy died? Man, I just threw him some caps. Send him on his way, give his head a pat. I mean a rub, show him some love. Paint on this shorty, don't be so rough. He's only 13, and twice he's seen cuffs.
Oh, you done?
Yeah,
That piece always, you never done any graffiti. How did you, you talked about like the transition from playing the bass to playing the guitar.
Right.
How do you write about something that you don't have first-hand knowledge of, but the piece is just so compelling and it's so moving and it's so, it just sounds like it's I don't know, it sounds like it's an extension of something that you guys have done firsthand, but you haven't.
no, when I when I did this, I didn't know any writers. That's what they also call writers, taggers, whatever. You know, it's different. I actually blew myself away. You know what I'm saying? Because I was such a fan of the art. Didn't know anything about it. Knew just a few terms. You know what I mean? But and like, I came up with the idea, and I'm like, well, let me write about this, and I could, well, I need to relate it to something that I could relate, which, you know, was addiction. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I could relate to addiction, you know what I mean? So I went at it from that aspect, but I really kind of moved myself, like, where is this coming from? Like, I'm talking like, I know, like, I'm an aerosol artist, you know what I mean? And I really impressed myself with it, you know what I mean? So